Hello students, so let's check what we had in last lecture. See, we started with transistor shunt regulator, then we have covered its working, is it, how the output voltage is stabilized by this transistor shunt regulator, is it. Now after that we have to analyze this, the transistor shunt regulator analysis. So it's not good to call it as an analysis because the full analysis is not required for second year students. Right. What I will do is I will derive one equation that is related to total current I. Is it? Why I am saying that at this level whole analysis is not required, because the complete analysis is depend on the hybrid parameters of a transistor, is it, or hybrid module of a transistor, which is not studied by us yet. Right. This hybrid module is there in the fourth chapter, but some reference of that hybrid module is needed to analyze this transistor shunt regulator, is it. I'll explain how and why it is not possible right now. Look at this. If I draw equivalent circuit diagram, then just look at the circuit, is it. Don't even react for, because this is not our part, we have not studied it at all. See, I have replaced the Zener diode with its internal resistance RZ, is it, and this is what HI. Now you will not understand what is HI, then look at this. This is hybrid model of a transistor. This current is HFE multiplied by IB. And here somewhere I have load resistor which is connected. I will call it as an RE. So this is RS, this is RL, HFE IB. Here the base of the transistor I have. Here is the collector of a transistor, and this is emitter terminal of a transistor. Look at this. Have you ever seen this circuit? Obviously not, because this is what hybrid model. Look at this. This is what my actual transistor is. This is what my transistor. So this transistor is an hybrid equivalent model of a transistor that we have not studied, is it. So that's why I said analysis or full analysis of this transistor shunt regulator is not a requirement of your syllabus right now. Right. So as if we have drawn this circuit, so let us start with this circuit. Let's begin with whatever we have. So we have this circuit HIE. Let me tell you in short what is HIE. HIE is input impedance. Look at this. HIE is input impedance. HFE, only two terms are there, HIE and HFE. Okay, HFE is I told you, I think, IC divided by IB, which is what? Current gain. Which is current gain. These two things are new here. This HFE is nothing but your beta. Now you will come to know the reference. HFE is what? Beta. Beta already we have studied. What is that beta? It is ratio of IC divided by IB. If I take into AC analysis or hybrid analysis, it becomes HFE. Is it? Now, how many currents are there in the circuit? This first current, that is I. This current is a Zener current, which is nothing but a base current. I will write it as IZ is equals to IB. I will write here IZ is equals to IB, because the same current is flowing through the Zener as well as through the base of the transistor. See, I have not considered resistor RB in the circuit. I have not considered this IB at all, because RB is needed at the time of practical. So even if you don't consider this RB, then also it is okay. So whatever Zener current which is equals to the base current, because the same current is flowing through the Zener and through the base of the transistor. So I am writing IZ is equals to IB, and then this current HFE IB. Look at this. I am showing a current source. So this is your current HFE multiplied by IB. So how many currents are there? This is first current, that is IZ, which is equals to IB. The second current is I, and third current is HFE multiplied by IB. So total 3 currents are there in the circuit. And again another current, that is IL. We should not forget the load current. Even whatever the load is, the current is flowing through it. So let us consider this IL also. So now from this IZ IB, HFE IB and IL, let me write the equation of total current I. So what is the total current I? Total current I is equals to this current plus this current plus this current, is it not? So I will write it is IZ, which is equals to IB, plus HFE IB plus IL. See, how can I write then? I can replace IZ with IB plus HFE IB plus IL. So let me take this thing common as 1 plus HFE. Look at this, 1 plus HFE multiplied by IB plus IL. Is it? This is what the equation is. It whatever we are doing is to obtain this equation, I is equals to 1 plus HFE IB plus IL. Is it? If I want to calculate I minimum, then I suppose to write 1 plus HFE multiplied by IB minimum plus IL. Roughly, when I want to use this equation, then I will replace IB with IZ. Why? Because in general statements of any regulator, where I'm using if Zener, then Zener minimum current is available, whereas IB is not available. Generally IB is neglected. So that's why I will write 1 plus HFE multiplied by IZ. Now instead of IB, I am putting IZ plus IL. So this is what the equation I will use henceforth. Right. So if I write the equation directly, I is equals to 1 plus HFE multiplied by IZ plus IL, confusion should not be there. From where I am getting this equation? I am getting this equation from the analysis of transistor shunt regulator, which analysis is depend on hybrid module of a transistor. That's what. Now, so that is the only an important thing that I wanted to tell you, the equation of I. Equation of total current includes HFE. It means total current which is coming from the input variation. That total current of the complete circuit has influence of transistor parameter. If you change the transistor parameter, the total current in the circuit will be changed. That's the conclusion. So there is a small influence of transistors parameter on the total current in the circuit. Is it? Now, if I want to design this transistor shunt regulator, let me talk about design now. Design. See, to design this transistor shunt regulator, we have many options. To design transistor shunt regulator means first I need to calculate the value of RS. Secondly, I need to calculate value of RL. Then we have to select Zener diode. Then we have to select the transistor. Now this RS, RL, if you are connecting one resistor, that is RB, then you have to connect RB. Let me check what is the notation we have used, whether it is RB or R3 we have used. Yes, it is RB. So I am using RB here. So these 3 resistors and 2 components we have to calculate. So let us consider one example, one design statement instead. So when the design statement is given, for example, design transistor shunt regulator, let me write it here, one problem. Design transistor shunt regulator with some specifications. What are the specifications or what is given data? So let me write what is given data. So given data is output voltage which is 5 volt. See, intentionally I am taking this problem because when you solve this problem, we will take the same problem, we will take the same components and we'll mount them into the lab and we will check out the practical results with those components. Then maybe a load current IL which is equals to 5 to 50 milliamperes, and then input voltage V in, just check V have taken the same specifications for which we have designed Zener shunt regulator. See, output voltage is 5, we have designed Zener for 5 volt. Then IL is 5 to 50 milliamperes and input voltage we have taken 8 to 12 volt. Apart from that, few transistor parameters are given and one Zener parameter is also given. The given Zener parameter, that is IZ minimum, which is given 1 milliamperes, else HFE of a transistor is specified, which is 110. So this is what given data for us, and we have to design transistor shunt regulator. So let us start with designing of transistor shunt regulator. How to start with? Obviously the step 1 is always a circuit diagram. After circuit diagram, we have to start with load resistance, is it not? See, this is what the Zener, and okay, let me connect resistor RB also. As I told you, it is an optional thing to connect RB, but still practically I'm going to use this RB, so that's why in my case I'm connecting this RB. And one load resistor is connected. Don't forget to connect load resistor. I will call this as RL. This is RB. This is VZ, voltage across Zener. This is RS, and this is what my input voltage VIN. So input voltage is given 8 to 12 volt. The current I, this current Z, this current is IB, and what about this current? It is IRB. Okay, this current is IC and this current is IL. Now almost every current we have shown there in the circuit diagram. Okay, the 3 resistors and 2 components, all the currents I am showing. Now the thing is, how to calculate the value of resistor RS? Just check out the circuit diagram. RS is what? I don't know. RS is this voltage minus this voltage divided by this current. This current is I. So it is a general form, V in minus VO divided by current I. Now what is that value of RS? Value of RS should be maximum. We know that, we have studied it, that series resistor which is connected with in series with the input voltage must be of maximum value, is it? So RS is always maximum. To get RS maximum, I need to put current minimum. So when current will be minimum? When input voltage is minimum, then current will be minimum. Look at this. When input voltage is minimum, current will be minimum. Output voltage is fixed. So because we have designed this for 5 volt, yes, it is for 5 volt. The equation of I is known, is it not? Look at this. But value of I, just now we have seen I minimum. Instead I will write I minimum is what? 1 plus HFE multiplied by IZ minimum plus IL. Is it? So Zener current is minimum, means IL must be maximum. Look at it. This is the equation I am using. I minimum is equals to 1 plus HFE IZ, that is minimum, plus IL maximum. If this is minimum, then that must be maximum. Is it? We had a discussion about that in the last lecture. Now put this value in equation of RS. RS will be then V in minimum minus VO divided by 1 plus HFE multiplied by IZ minimum plus IL maximum. Now see, input voltage, minimum input voltage, that is 8, output voltage is 5, HFE is given, IZ minimum is also given, IL maximum is also given. See, everything is given from this. Then calculate RS. Is it? Put all the values into the equation, use your calculator efficiently and then calculate the value. Is it? If I calculate this value, it comes around 100 or less than 100. In my case, I am getting 54.50 ohm. Look at this, value of RS is 54.50. So practically I will use the nearest value. Maybe it is 91 ohm. If you got 100 ohm, then also it is okay, because it is a series resistor. which is connected in series with the input voltage. Right, so value of RS we have calculated, it is done. After that, our next job is to calculate value of load resistor RL, that is maximum value of RL and minimum value of RL. And the maximum value of RL will be equals to output voltage divided by IL minimum, and minimum value of load resistor is equals to output voltage divided by IL maximum. So put this IL minimum and IL maximum value and calculate value of load resistor. The value of load resistor will be, this is VO is of 5 and this is 50. IL minimum is also 5 milliamperes, na? So it will be 100 ohm, 1000 ohm, and here 5, IL maximum is 50 milliamperes, na? 5 milliamperes, 50 milliamperes, so that will be 100 ohm. So I can use 1 kilo ohm pot. That's what, this is what value of load resistor. See, we have calculated value of RS and value of RL. Now, as I told you, it's an optional thing to connect RB, but at the time of practical we are going to connect RB, so let us calculate RB also. But before calculating RB, what we will do, we will select a transistor and Zener. I will write here selection of Zener. Now I am going to select Zener. This equation is known, VO is equals to what? VZ plus VBE. Output voltage is given 5 volt. VBE is 0.7 because I have assumed that I am using transistor which is made up of silicon material. So what's difficult in that? To calculate VZ. So VZ will be 5 minus 0.7, that is 4.3 volt. So this is what my Zener voltage. But selection of Zener voltage is not depend only on VZ. You can select with VZ, no issue in that. But still, if you want to go further, then you can select a Zener diode with its power dissipation. Power dissipation of Zener. But to calculate power dissipation, what you need? You need Zener voltage as well as maximum Zener current. So the maximum Zener current is not there with us. Then what is the option? The option is where IZ max is 10 times of IZ minimum. So whatever IZ minimum is given, multiply it by 10, you will get IZ maximum. It is a rough assumption. I will write here. It is what? Rough assumption. Yes, it is rough assumption. Now, IZ minimum is what? IZ minimum is 1 milliamperes multiplied by 10, which is equals to 10 milliamperes. So now IZ max will be 10 milliamperes. Then what about power dissipation? Power dissipation of Zener will be 5 multiplied by 10 milliamperes. Go for it, calculate the value and write it down. Sorry, VZ is not 5, VZ is, just check VZ. So VZ is not 5 actually, it is 4.3, oh sorry, it is 4.3. So 4.3 multiplied by 10 milliamperes. So it must be 43 milliwatt. So 43 milliwatt is the power rating of a Zener, or I can say it is a power dissipation of a Zener. So by using these two parameters, I can select the Zener diode. Is it? After that, the selection of transistor. Let me write here selection of transistor. How can I select the transistor? See, transistor is generally selected by its HFE value and its maximum current value, IC max. Is it? The transistor's HFE in our case is given. How much it is? It is let me check how much HFE is given. HFE, it is 110. So 110 is the value of HFE. HFE has no unit. Is it? You will come to know that things when we start with voltage amplifiers. Is it? What is HFE? What is HIE? What is H parameters? What is hybrid module? You will come to know all those things when I start with your fourth chapter. But for the time being, you just understand HFE is one parameter of a transistor which we have derived from hybrid model, and we have taken help of hybrid model to analyze this transistor shunt regulator. So HFE is given, it is 110, which is one of the important parameter to select the transistor. Again, IC max is also one important parameter where I can use this to select the transistor. But see, IC max is nowhere defined. Now, what is the alternative to select IC max, or how I can decide that this transistor should have, whatever transistor that I am going to select should have that much IC max? Is it? So IC max, it must be greater than or equals to twice of load current, because see, this is a transistor and the transistor is in parallel with the load resistor. Look at this is what the configuration we have. Transistor is in parallel with load current. It means what is there? When two resistors or two impedances are in parallel, current will get divided or voltage get divided? Obviously it's in current which is getting divided. So voltage will remain same, but the current will get divided. So if current is going to divide, we have to select the collector current. That is, our demand is what? Collector current of a transistor should be large. Why? Because this is active element. Transistor is active element. Na? In Zener shunt regulator, Zener was active element. Whatever extra current is there in the circuit was absorbed by the Zener, because Zener was active element. Here, transistor is active element. It means if there is an extra current, if there is a surge current in your circuit, then that extra current will be absorbed by the transistor, not by the Zener now. Is it? Because it is transistor shunt regulator. The active element is transistor. So extra current will be absorbed by the transistor, and that's why transistor's current, that is transistor's collector current, must be very large. So how much it should be? It must be large, means it must be greater than IL. So how much greater than IL? It should be roughly twice of IL. So what is IL max? IL max is 50 milliamperes. Multiply by 2. So collector current should be greater than or equals to 100 milliamperes. That's what the selection. IC max must be greater than or equals to 100 milliamperes. Look at this. The second constraint I got. What is the first thing which is used to select the transistor? First thing is transistor's HFE. The second thing is collector current of a transistor. Then third thing is its collector to emitter voltage. Look at this. Collector to emitter voltage means this voltage I am talking about. So this voltage must be greater than output voltage. Look at this. This is third parameter that I can use to select the transistor. It's VCE of a transistor that you are going to use in your circuit must be greater than output voltage or maximum output voltage. Or if you are designing a voltage regulator for 12 volt and you are selecting transistor which has VCE is equals to 8 volt, what's the use of them? You will never get the output voltage which is exactly equals to 12 volt then, or at the voltage of 12 volt transistor will never sustain. If VC rating is very small, obviously transistor will never sustain for that much output voltage. So that's why VCE must be large for a transistor. Large means how much it must be? At least it should be greater than output voltage. So that's what our third parameter to select the transistor. Then fourth parameter. Fourth parameter is power dissipation of a transistor. See, the power dissipation of a transistor this transistor, which is in parallel with the load resistor. So whatever power dissipation of a load resistor is there, transistor should have its power dissipation greater than load dissipation. So that's why I'm roughly saying it is 2. So power dissipation of a transistor must be twice of the power dissipation of a load. अदरवाइज क्या होगा कि लोड का जितना पावर डिसिपेशन है उससे अगर कम ट्रांजिस्टर का है तो ट्रांजिस्टर सस्टेन कर पाएगा? नो, इट इज नॉट, ऑब्वियसली नो. सो दैट्स व्हाई transistor's own power dissipation should be greater than the power dissipation of a load resistor. Okay. So by those parameters I can select the transistor by using data sheet. Is it? See, we have selected RS, we have selected RL, we have selected Zener diode, we have selected transistor. The only thing is the selection of optional resistor RB. Look at this. Now many people select this RB with some direct equation, and many people try to find it out with some equations which are based on the circuit and analysis. Good. Let me tell you, to select this RB, what is that RB? By the let me draw this circuit diagram once again here. Here a Zener diode is there, and here is what your RB, in which we are interested in right now, and this is what my transistor, and hence further circuit is there. The current IB, this current is IRB, okay, this current is IZ, okay, this current is I. Now we have option, either I can take RB is equals to VBE divided by IRB. Why? Because this voltage is how much? This voltage is what? VBE. Look at this, base to emitter voltage I am talking about. So base to emitter voltage means voltage across voltage across RB. Is it? What is this VBE? It is voltage across RB. Now voltage across RB is VB, and what is this? It is current through RB. So voltage across RB and current through RB. That's what it is. But voltage across RB, yes, it is possible to calculate. It is 0.7. VBE is 0.7 always if I am using silicon transistor. Now what about IRB? Is it? IRB is nothing but, look at this. Look at this scenario, the currents. We know that the current IZ is equals to summation of IRB and IB, because basic KCL, if I consider this node, then currents coming into the node is equals to currents going out of the node. So that's why IZ is equals to IRB plus IB. So from this, IRB will be then IZ minus IB. Look at this, IZ minus IB. But generally, by following this method, the problem arises is what? IZ minus IB, and we assumed IZ is equals to IB, then IRB will be 0. Anything divided by 0. Look at this. This IRB is equals to what? IZ minus IB. But roughly we know that IZ is approximately equals to IB. It means this minus this becomes 0. So it means this IRB will be 0. So this IRB is equals to 0. It means VB divided by 0. Anything divided by 0 is equals to RB. What it comes in infinite? It means as good as RB is not there. It is like that. So that's why if you don't consider RB, then also it is okay. I told you in the first glance that if you don't draw the resistor RB, then also it is okay. If you don't draw this, then IZ is equals to IB surely. Now this is one thing when you consider IZ and IB different. Right? Another method that generally people follow is to go for calculation of IB and IZ differently. This IZ is equals to what they write? They write IZ minimum. And now they are interested in calculation of IB. And how they calculate IB? Look at this. They calculate IB with equation IC divided by Z. But now see, IC is not known, or if you have not selected any transistor, then it is not possible to calculate IC. Then for this IC, what they do? They assume IC. How they assume? What is the base on the assumption? That IC generally they assume as twice of IL, because see, the collector current should be large. Is it? As if collector current should be large. How much it should be? It should be at least greater than IL. So that's why they go for assumption twice of IL max. So what is IL? It is IL max is 50 milliamperes roughly. So IC max will be 100 milliamperes, or somewhere we have assumed, no, it is IZ max, not IC max, no. So it is 100 milliampere. So this IC is 100 milliampere. So 100 milliampere divided by HFE, which is given, is your IB. Is that? So generally people follow this thing also. Right? This is the one way to calculate RB. If you are considering RB, go for it, no issue. Or if you are facing problem in the calculation of RB, is it? Then directly you can use this equation. RB is equals to V in minimum minus VO maximum divided by IZ. So this equation is also based on the analysis of the same circuit. If you want to put RB in your circuit, then go for this equation. Otherwise, go for this procedure. Is it? You have an alternative. Is it? So I suggest that instead of calculating all those things, that is calculation for IB, assuming value of IC, it's always good to use this equation. Is it? That is what my suggestion is. Now people follow this as well as this, but I think this is the simplest way to use this equation directly. Instead of calculating assuming IC, calculating IB, and again putting the value. No. It will take a lot of time. It is just a waste of time. Because see, even if you don't calculate the value of RB and assume the value of RB up to 4K, then also it is valid. Because ideally the value should be infinite. But practically, infinite value will take very small current. I want a current to be shared by some resistance. So that's why for current sharing, I am putting a value, some value of resistance. So that's why if you want to, then go for this direct equation, that is V minimum minus VO maximum divided by IZ minimum. Otherwise, don't connect RB, no problem at all. Is it? So this is about the transistor shunt regulator. See, I'm not going to solve a separate problem related to this transistor shunt regulator. Why? Because equations are already I have written. So why to waste time in a design procedure? Because see, what is your job? Even the design statement is also there. Your job is to take the value, put into the equation, use your calculator efficiently, and that's all. Is it? So here I'm concluding the session with the transistor shunt regulator. In next session, we will start with transistor series regulator. We'll start with series regulator in next session. Thank you.